When we talk about streaming and VTubers in particular, it feels like this unreachable island, and that the bar of entry is too high, that it's too expensive, and that it's really overwhelming. Trust me, I get it. I felt the same way. But as a VTuber now, I'm here to tell you that it's not that complicated. So today, I'm going to go over common equipment you need to get started with VTubing and talk about how to keep things within a decent budget. So hi, my name's Lumi. I'm a virtual content creator and VTuber, and I've been streaming for 5 years, but recently rebranded and started from scratch this past year. But in those 5 years of streaming, my equipment really hasn't changed, but the way I've tuned it has. So in order to not overcomplicate it, I'm going to split this into 3 categories: physical equipment, digital equipment, and stream platforms. This way you can skip to what you need to see, since most of the physical equipment is just standard stream stuff anyway. But enough preamble, let's get into it. So physical equipment is the stuff that you'll need to stream and use for getting your VTuber off the ground. I think it's fairly obvious, but you're going to need a computer that can run everything. So I'm going to move ahead and assume that you have that and get into the nitty-gritty stuff. This is a big topic, so I'm going to split this into 3 subcategories, which will be audio, video, and extra. First up is audio. Personally, I think this is the most important category to work on if you can. I feel like bad audio is the quickest turnoff for most people tuning into a stream. But this doesn't mean you need to explode your wallet with the best equipment out there. You just need to know how to use it. So I use a Blue Yeti USB mic. It's pretty old, but it gets the job done. But it also used to sound like this when I was streaming. Oh, he's stuck in the wall. Atrocious, right? Well, with a few tricks and adjustments, I sound like this. My recommendation is to find a nice cheap mic that doesn't break the bank and find tutorials online on how to optimize it well within your computer and OBS. OBS has a ton of little ways you can adjust your audio from within it and sound nice and crisp. The most common style of beginner mic is a USB style. It's easy to plug and play with your computer and does not take a lot of technical know-how on how to set up. But keep in mind that your mic out of the box may not sound as good as you want it to. You've got to mess with the settings till it fits to your liking. There is no one-size-fits-all setting that fixes that. Once you've gotten used to streaming and you want to stick with this a little bit more, then you should update your audio. That would be my first priority. The other style of mic I'm familiar with is an XLR mic. These tend to produce a higher quality output, but also require a more in-depth look at audio mixing, and that's a bit more complicated than what we're looking at today. So all in all, if you want a beginner-friendly mic, look for a cheap USB one and learn to adjust the settings to your liking. If you want a specific recommendation, I recommend the Fifine Dynamic microphone. It's sleek and stylish, comes with a fuzzy top, and also has both USB and XLR, so you can start with the USB when you want to upgrade. You don't have to buy a brand new mic. But there are plenty of mics out there. Read reviews, check for tutorials, and remember that you can always upgrade later if you want to. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Next is the video portion. This is the part that helps you move your model. If you're using a PNG tuber, you can skip this section. There are 3 ways that you can move your VTuber model. You can face track with a webcam, the classic style. You can track with your phone, the new school style. And you can track it simply by using your mouse and keyboard. First, let's get into webcam. So for a webcam, there are a few important things to consider. You don't need the best, but you don't need the worst. You want a webcam to register your face, but you aren't facecam streaming, so you don't need to destroy your piggy bank looking for a 4K webcam. Although I'm pretty sure there are cheap ones out there too. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what webcam I'm using. My mom gave it to me and it's like 4 years old. But it works. The important thing is placement. Your webcam needs to be in a place where it can see your face well. And also lighting. Yeah, you're not a facecam streamer, but webcams can only see so much, so you gotta help it out a little bit by increasing your lighting for better tracking. But if you want the best tracking, you're going to want to use your phone. Phones these days have incredible camera software and are able to detect our faces pretty well. That honestly is more terrifying now that I've said it out loud, but I digress. The iPhone has the best tracking software out there using an AR kit that Apple created. And there's plenty of free software out there that lets you use that in order to track your face. Same thing with the webcam, you need to make sure your phone's placement is in a good enough spot to track your face and some pretty decent lighting to boost the quality. And this way, you're not even buying new equipment, you're literally just using your phone. But if you don't want to use your phone and you want to keep it cheap, the last option is mouse and keyboard tracking. You can do this with all Live 2D models if I'm not mistaken. And you can do it for free right in VTube Studio. You will just need to add a mouse input, adjust certain parameters, and boom, you can use your mouse and keyboard to track. Easy peasy. Those are the 3 general methods you'll use for tracking for most VTuber rigs. Last in this section is extra. This is the stuff you don't need but might make your life a little easier. For example, I use a mic arm or boom arm for my Yeti. I was tired of it sitting in front of me and having to move my arm around it to play games. Is it necessary? No, but it can be really helpful. Another thing is lighting. I mentioned this earlier in the video section. It's not necessary, but it can take your tracking from good to great. But the key thing here is that it's not required, just useful. This one might seem obvious, but a decent headset to hear everything is pretty good. You don't want things just blasting out of your speakers. Or you do, I don't know, I'm not your mom. But I think at least being able to hear everything in one space gives you better control over your stream quality. I'm sure I could add a ton of stuff here, like audio mixers or extra monitors, but the thing here is that these are all extra things. You don't need them to get started. So let's move on to digital equipment. Let's talk about the model and the program to run it on. So first, you're going to need a model, whether it's 2D like a VTuber and PNG tuber, or 3D like a Vroid model. Stop right there. Put your wallet away. Stop taking out a loan. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a VTuber. There are plenty of ways to get a cheap and still gorgeous looking setup that lets you express yourself. There are plenty of pre-made models on VGen and Booth. There's also Etsy, but it's kind of filled with AI stuff, so maybe just stick to the other ones. There are also customizable models that let you alter what they look like to fit your vision better without breaking the bank. In fact, I use a customizable model. This one is by Sinmaku, and I adore it. If you want a video on some great customizables, let me know. But really, you don't need a fully custom one-of-a-kind VTuber when you're just getting started, trust me. Get used to streaming as a VTuber first, and if it's a good fit for you, then you can spend all the money in your bank. So in order to run that cute little model of yours, we're gonna need a VTuber software. If you're using a PNG tuber, you'll probably use things like Vtube Mini, my preferred program, Fugi Reactive, or PNG Tuber Plus. These programs are all free to use and easy to get started. See, here's my little guy. Whichever program you end up going for, look for a tutorial on how to set it up well, and you can do some crazy stuff with it. If you're using a live 2D model like I am, chances are you're going to be using VTube Studio. It is technically free, though you can pay for the multiplayer DLC or the DLC that removes the watermark, but out of the box, anyone can use it. I haven't seen other software for live 2D models that others use with raving reviews, so you're kind of limited here, but really it has everything you need. It's what I use. And last but certainly not least is 3D models. For 3D models, you'll most likely be using programs such as Wardo or VC Face. They are all free programs that will track your 3D model. I personally don't have any experience with these, yet, but I know there are plenty of tutorials out there on how to get them up and schmovin'. There are also many other programs that work alongside all of these that do cost money, like VBridger or Lepit, but these are not necessary to get started. Remember, upgrade later, start now. Finally, we'll be talking about the streaming platform. This is what you'll be streaming to and where you'll be streaming at. The most important program that literally everyone uses is called OBS, or Open Broadcast Software, if you're a nerd. Kidding. It's a free program that will handle all of your streaming. There are plugins and add-on streaming programs like Stream Elements or Streamlabs that can enhance your OBS experience, but they can be a tad overwhelming if you're new to this. Ultimately, you'll be using OBS and anything is just extra. There are plenty of videos out there on how to set up OBS, so we won't be doing that here. Instead, I'm moving on to where you'll be streaming to. It used to be that Twitch held the monopoly on streaming as a platform, but nowadays you can stream to just about anywhere, like Twitter or TikTok. So you can decide if you want to stream to Twitch, YouTube, or more, and then you'll want to read up on the TOS for the platform and get started. There is also multi-streaming, which uses programs like Restream or ATM to stream to multiple platforms, but that's a little bit more advanced. Overall, OBS is your one true love. So we've gone over physical, the digital, and the platform. And honestly, most of the digital programs you'll be using are free, which is really nice. The bulk of your upfront cost is going to be physical equipment, and your model. Unless you made your model, of course. And with what we went over today, I think we have established that your starting equipment does not need to be the best, you just need to make it work for you. Like I said, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. You got this, baby. And that's all for today's video. If you learned something new or liked hearing me out, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you kittens next time. Bye!